And the reason that I have you shaking each other's hand in this room, because when you leave here, the goal is to be unified. When you leave here, the goal is have new relationships and have new contacts. When you leave here, the goal is to have one dream, one vision. And as you're looking at where you want to go, one team. As you're looking at what it is you want to achieve, one determined effort to begin to spread the word about these products, using the products ourselves to demonstrate that we are the message that we bring, and have the vision that it's done. Let us say together, it's done. Serena Williams is a young lady I really admire, and she blew my mind at the French Open when she won. She accepted the award in French. During the time that she was practicing with her trainer to win, she also had a tutor teaching her how to speak French fluently, because she said, I'm going to win this. All victories take place twice, first in the mind and then in the without. And that's what I want you to do right now. I want you to think about who you have to be. Because who you've been, Einstein said, the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. That in order for this to be an explosive year for you, in order for your business to grow by leaps and bounds, you have to be a different person. You have to die to who you are now to give birth to who you must become. So I want you to think about that. What radical change will take place? What will be different about you? Think about it. What will change for you? What is it in terms of your attitude? In terms of the number of people that you talk to? In terms of your conviction? In terms of how you organize yourself? In terms of your drive and your determination? What's going to be different for you? You know, 3 words nobody ever wants to hear. Cancer is the most feared word in 7 different languages. Doctor looked at me and said, "You have cancer." I said, "Can you give me a second opinion?" "Yes, and you're ugly too." You know? I have problems. You know what I mean? My medication wearing off now. All right. So I had to change my eating habits. I go for a walk every day for that time now. I thank God. My immune system is powerful. It produces powerful white blood cells that kill quickly and permanently every renegade cancer cell that's in my body. I thank God I am healed. Every day I walk. I have this regimen that I put myself on. Winning is a regimen. It's a routine that you get involved in. I have a habit of reading 30 to 40 pages of something positive every day. I listen to motivational messages every day. Why? Most people never achieve their goals because their heads are filled with head trash. And they are victims of what I call weapons of mass distractions. They're distracted by things in this world that won't take them toward their dream. You've got to discipline yourself. My son is here. Patrick, where are you? Where are you? My son is here. One of my sons always travel with me. There he is over there. Give him a round of applause, period. And they remember when they were coming up, I would go in the basement, and all they would hear the words of Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn and Bill Bailey and different other speakers. I was saturating my mind. You have to do that every day, because there's so many things out here that can snag your mind. And your mind, be ye not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is the greatest time in history for entrepreneurship. You're deciding to be here. That decision, I can tell you, based upon me, if I had no idea that I had the ability to do what I'm doing now. I'm looking forward to working with some of you. that many times, and write this down, have someone in your life that can see what you can't see. This guy said to me, Les, you can do more than what you're now doing. And I said, come on, Mike. All I knew at that time was radio. And he said, that's all you bothered to learn. How many of you ever had somebody see something in you didn't see in yourself? Raise your hands, please. I just couldn't see myself being on stage. I just couldn't see that they packed a stadium in Poland just a few months ago, 25,000 people. I just couldn't see it. Because you can't see it does not mean you can't do it. Eye has not seen. Ear has not heard. What's important is that you challenge yourself with these collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, reading and listening on a regular basis, working toward your dreams relentlessly. Things are going to happen. You're going to get a breakthrough. Things are going to happen for you. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you, you're listening to someone who used to change his voice when creditors called the house. I'm sorry, mister, but Les Brown is not here. You sound like Les Brown. Don't you go there, big boy. I used to hide my car so creditors couldn't find it. You can't do that with GPS. I think that ought to be against the law. Oh my God. When I have money, I feel better. All in my body. I don't even need my medication. But I can tell you, things are going to happen. Between 40 and 60, all hell breaks loose. Things happen to you, and things happen to people you care about. I'm so glad to be 70, I don't know what to do, you know. I still have things happening, but I can handle it better. But how many of you know during those times, it's some rough times? Raise your hands, please. It's some rough times, you know. And so here's what I know. I'm in a room of dreamers. Write this down. Bring your energy level up. Yes. You can't be like everybody else. You have to bring your energy level up. You have to have a vision. You've got, it's a difference between having the vision and the vision having you. You can't listen to the naysayers. You don't want to spend time trying to convince somebody to do this business. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. You've got to be convicted in your spirit. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to achieve my goals. You've got to determine, you've got to say to yourself, I'm greater than my circumstances. I'm greater than what I'm going through right now. All of us go through something. It's called life. It's called stuff. Charles Udall said in life, you will always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. And so when something happens to you, see it as a God-ordained opportunity. See it as something that's testing you. Let us say together, no test, no testimony. Yeah, you're going to have some tests in life, and so you want to have a testimony. Here's something else. Write this down. Develop the skill to tell your story. Your story is very important. It's very important. I start out at the top, telling you my story. The two women responsible for me being here. One gave me life. One gave me love. God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. I was born in an abandoned building on a floor. I was labeled educable, mentally retarded. I told you these things. Why? Your story is important for this reason. Number one, for confidence. Write this down. For confidence, for trust, and connectedness. Because when you're talking to people about the business, a lot of people advance talking about the business. No, you're talking about the business. You are the business. People are looking at you. Who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? So in a very concise way, you want to give them an idea of who you are so they can feel comfortable with you. And don't tell them the whole story, everything. We don't need to hear all of it, all right? I've got a session I'm going to share with some people, techniques on that. But it's about establishing a level of rapport. How many of you know that's important? Raise your hands, please. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? In the course of telling the story, what you're doing is, and write this down, you distract, dispute, and inspire. How people live their lives is a result of the story they believe about themselves. The story they believe is, in order for me to make it, I got to go to college, graduate, get a degree, and get a job, work for 40 years, and retire. How many of you know that story is over? Raise your hands, please. So there's a new story that you're going to bring them. And this story is out of your story. Your story now will supplant, will override their story that creates a new possibility. Now you are giving them the opportunity to create and to write a new chapter. How many of you know some people that need a new chapter? Raise your hands, please. And that's who you are. That's why you showed up. And you have the ability to do this. Write this down. You have an energy signature. There's some people you're going to resonate with, and there's some people you're not because of their energy signature and because of yours. So you got to step up. And when you speak, you can't be casual. When you speak, you must speak with a knowing and with a conviction of, one, I've got something that has value for you, because you ask them some questions to find out who they are, to get some indication of who you're talking to. One of the things that gave me an advantage in this industry of motivational speaking is based upon the Dale Carnegie course, which is a great course. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. No. My course and how I train speakers, and all that getting, find out who they are. All that getting, get understanding. Who are they? Find out who they are. What is it that's stressing them out? What is it that's challenging them? And how you can be of service with what it is you're offering. Does that make sense? Okay, people can smell commission breath on your breath, all right? They can smell it. They know when you're coming up with something. But do you care about me? So you're coming with a story of achievement, of working with other people. You're coming with a story that can free them up, a story that has a key that enables them to unlock a new future for themselves. They'll be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. Distract, dispute. Through the course of that presentation, that conversation, you dismantle their limited belief system. Inspire, and you inspire them to choose to follow your example, to choose to build a new life for themselves. This work is real work. Let us say together, you got to be hungry. Say it like you mean it. Mr. Washington said, Mr. Brown, what do you want to do with your life, young man? Sir, I want to take care of my mother. All my life, people have compared me to my brother, who's very smart, and my sister, who graduated from the University of Miami. As you know, I'm not as smart as my brother, but I want to take care of her. He said, you got to be hungry, Mr. Brown. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, people that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. I said, I'm hungry, sir. Tell me what I needed to do. What I need to do, sir, in order to make it. He said, you've got to become a better person. I want you to read this book. He gave me a variety of books to read and audio programs to listen to. I don't know anybody that knows as many quotes as I do, because I've saturated my mind. And he said, I want you to practice OQP. Write this down. OQP, only quality people. Only quality people. He said, you got to separate yourself from people who don't have dreams, people who don't have goals, people who are not reaching for something, Mr. Brown. He said, most people never achieve their goals because they have too many negative, toxic, energy-draining people in their lives. And so, everybody repeat after me, please. Let go. Or be dragged. Yeah, there's some people you've got to let go or they're going to drag you down. Can I change them? No. It's a full-time job changing yourself. And there's some people so negative they can walk in a dark room and begin to develop. Oh, behave, whatever. I took it myself. So you got to let them go. There are two types of relationships. There are nourishing relationships and there are toxic relationships. You earn within $3,000 of your closest friends. When I found that out, I got rid of every broke person in my life. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough said, if you're the smartest one in your group, you need to get a new group. You want to watch the leaders who come up and get awards and be recognized, and watch them and study them and learn from them, because success leaves clues. They're an example, not an exception. And that's what I had to get a hold of. I just couldn't see myself earning $25,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month. That seemed beyond my reality. But since I've been working in this industry, I've done it in an hour and a half. So I'm telling you what I know, and it's in your future. You have greatness in you. You have the ability to do it. And you have to step outside of the story that you now believe in yourself. And you have to create a new story, a new vision. And you have to say it to yourself all the time. I had to say it to myself when I wake up in the morning. I have to say to myself, I am destined for success. I am destined to make cancer history in my life. I am destined. I used to take 12 to 15 pain pills a day. I'm now down to 2 because of what I'm telling you, that I don't have to continue to reach for this. I've been working on my mind because, you know, if you don't have one thing, you're going to have something else. How many of you know that to be the truth? You know, I'm telling you, if it ain't one thing, it's another. You're doing well in the business, then the kids go crazy. Come on, give me a break. Somebody said, tell the truth and shame the devil. I'm telling you. You know, you either in life, you either in a problem, just left one, or headed toward one. I said, God, can you just help me? Just let me catch my breath for a moment. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, you know, why? Don't ask why these things happening to me. Why not you? Who would you suggest? I got some names for him, I tell you. Oh, my God. When I was first diagnosed with cancer, I was praying so hard. I used to pray in bed. Then I started getting on my knees after they told me that I had prostate cancer. I got on my knees. And then they said my PSA was 2,400. Then I started laying on the floor. I said, Lord, if you help me get through this, I'll increase my tithes by 35%. He said, you said that before. I said, I know. But I mean, I was called on Jesus, Yahweh, Melchizedek, Heavenly Father. I mean, you name it. I was chanting Nomi Yoho Renge Kyo. I was calling everybody. Sleeping with the Bible, the Quran. I don't know everybody. One time I was praying so hard I had to stop. I was crying. I just started laughing. You look like God was saying, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. How many know you become very spiritual when you're in a tight spot? Raise your hand. Oh, my God. I'm just being honest with you. I'm turning red as I talk about it, but you can't see it. So, Mr. Washington said, Mr. Brown, I've done all I can do for you. You want to be a disc jockey? You've got to go out into the marketplace. I went to apply for a job at WMBM radio station on Miami Beach. Milton Butterball Smith was the program director. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. Young man, do you have any journalism in your background? No, sir, I don't. You have any experience? No, sir, I don't. But I'm good, sir. I practice, I visualize myself being on radio. Let me audition for you, sir. I just need a shot. He said, no, I don't have any job for you. How many have been rejected? Raise your hands, please. I was devastated with rejection. I went back and I said, Mr. Washington, they said no. He said, don't take it personally. Most people are so negative, they have to say no 7 times before they say yes. He said, you got to be hungry. Go back again. So I went back again. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, I know what your name is. Weren't you here yesterday? I said, yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no yesterday? I said, yes, sir. Then why are you back today? I said, well, sir, I didn't know whether or not somebody was laid off or somebody was fired, sir. He said, nobody was laid off or fired. Now get out of here. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy, like I was singing for the first time. See? I said, hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Proud, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, weren't you here the last 2 days? I said, yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no the last 2 days? I said, yes, sir. He said, then why are you back today? I said, sir, I didn't know whether or not someone got sick or someone died, sir. He said, no one got sick or died. No one was laid off or fired. Now, don't you come back here again. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy, Aaron, like I was singing for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you? He looked at me with rage. He says, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir. My favorite book says the greatest among you will be your servant. How many of you are serious about your goals and dreams? Raise your hands. How many of you are serious about having explosive growth in your business? Raise your hands. Very good. Write this down. Provide more service than you get paid for. Provide more service than you get paid for. Talk to 4 times more people. Impact them. Ask questions. Get to know them. What drives them? What is it that keeps them up at night? And how what you have, how it would provide a service for them. So I became an errand boy for the disc jockeys. I'd go get their lunch and their dinner and stand in the control room watching them work their hands on the control board. Let us say together, I expect to win. I expect to grow my business. I expect to attract more people. I expect to increase my retention. And so on the weekend, the disc jockeys would come out to the parking lot and their cars be waxing clean inside out. They said, hey, who did this? I did, sir. How much you charge, young man? Oh, nothing, sir. I just wanted to help out. Write this down. Give before you ask. Yes, I was giving service before I asked what I wanted them to become a part of. And that was my dream of becoming a disc jockey. And so they said, hey, Donna Ross and the Supremes are coming to town, the Four Tops and the Temptations. Here are my car keys. Pick them up and take them to the Fontainebleau Hotel on Miami Beach. Thank you, sir. Be my pleasure, sir, to accommodate you. I would drive them all over Miami Beach in the disc jockeys' big long Cadillacs. I didn't have any driver's license, but I was driving like I had some. Then one day, it was a Saturday afternoon, a disc jockey by the name of Rockin' Roger was drinking while he was on the air. He began to slur his words. He was about to fall off the chair. Saturday afternoon, and I was the only one there, looking at him through the control room window, walking back and forth, young, ready, and hungry. I was saying, drink, rock, drink. I'd go and get him some more if he'd asked me to. Then pretty soon the phone rang. It was a general manager, and I answered the phone. I said, hello? He said, young boy, this is Mr. Klein. I said, I know. He said, Rock can't finish his program. I said, I know. He said, would you call one of the other DJs in and have him come in? I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up. I said, now he must think I'm crazy. I called my mama and my girlfriend, Cassandra. I said, y'all come out on the front porch, turn up the radio. I'm about to come on the air. I waited for about 20 minutes, and I called him back and said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, young boy, you know how to work the controls? I said, yes, sir. He said, you go in there and don't you say nothing here. I said, yes, sir. I couldn't wait to get old Rock out of the way. I said, look out, this is me, LB Triple P. Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single and love to mingle, certified, bona fide, indubitably qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. I was hungry. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, you got to be hungry. Do that right now. Say, you got to be hungry. Do that right now. People that are hungry believe if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. People that are hungry believe, always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. People that are hungry are persistent, they're patient, they're unstoppable. People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry live a life of zero excuses. People that are hungry know that if you want to build something, you must have the will to do it. How many of you have the will? Raise your hands, please. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no accident that you're here. And this is a time for you to reflect. Some of you couldn't afford to be here, and yet and still in your heart of hearts you felt you couldn't afford not to be here. I don't know what your goals are. Here's what I know about you. And Steve and Sharon and Joe and Aaron and all the leadership here, they believe in you. When you think about this product that you have, it's going to be a blessing to so many people. Dr. Nagasawa, he's been a blessing to many of you. And I'm just getting to know him and his products. And I have no qualms in saying that because of people like him and his vision, I'm standing here. And I'm grateful. So I'll see you out front to introduce you to a product that I have. It's for the leaders and for people that are serious. How many of you believe that mental resiliency is important? Raise your hands, please. Very good. How many of you know that being unstoppable requires inner strength? Raise your hands, please. Listen to this on a regular basis. Write this down. Go to lesbrownmotivation.com. We only have about 70 of these. But it's something else I'm going to give you. The first PBS special that I had called You Deserve, then one called It's Possible, and another one called It's Not Over Till I Win. I'm speaking to 80,000 people in the Georgia Dome. LesBrownMotivation.com. Write that down. That's not going to cost you anything. I'm going to sign these out front. It's possible. Self-awareness, self-approval, self-commitment, and self-fulfillment. I want to leave this with you. Coming here, I had a major medical procedure. And they said, are you sure you're going to be all right? I said, just get me the mic. And I feel the love and the energy of your leadership and the people in the organization. I met a young man, I was on a flight, I wasn't feeling well, and he had just seen me, and where is he? He's here with his father, my homie from Miami. What's first name? Rick. That's my partner, Rick. Yeah, give Rick a round of applause. Yeah. So I was in and out of sleepiness, but I was feeling so uncomfortable, and he kept coming back. He said, "Mr. Brown." I said, "Yes." "Are you all right?" I said, "Yes." "Can I get anything for you?" I said, "No, I'm fine, but thank you so much for caring." Then when the plane landed, before I can get up, he came up and got my luggage down. Judge a person not by what they do, but what they do that they don't have to do. Yeah. Yeah. And to judge the true quality of a person when nobody's looking. Even if a person says no, show them respect and say thank you so much, because a no today does not mean a no tomorrow. Am I correct? If you show people respect and love and say, well, if someone you know looking for an opportunity to change their lives, I'm looking for that kind of person, and I appreciate this time that you have given me with you. And you'd be surprised when you have a choice between being kind or being obnoxious. Always choose to be kind. Always. Kindness will take you so far in life. So thank you, my buddy Rick, my homie from Miami. I'm coming down there to Miami to have dinner with you and your father. But I want to leave this with all of you. I feel so blessed just to be here. We are very blessed, and we have an opportunity to pursue our dreams. I've spoken in countries where I had to modify my language because they were not allowed to pursue their dreams. People who came to hear me speak, and they then went back to countries where they gave themselves 3 months to learn the language, and then they would introduce an opportunity. We are very blessed to have the opportunity to live our dreams. And to help others to do that as well. So I really see this as a mission. And I want to leave this with you. My mother used to love to hear me say this. Leslie, yes, ma'am, Mama, say that thing for me, boy, that makes me feel good. Yes, ma'am. And I dedicate this to you and to your dream, to your team, to your vision, and to the goals that you have for yourself. It says simply this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, power, or threat can keep you away from your goals, don't fret. Continue to move toward them. You have the power in you to live your dreams. You have the will to do it, to make it happen, to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. You have something special. You have greatness within you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you very much.